Better than Dragon Age, better than Skyrim, better than Fallout. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 might simply be the best RPG I ever played. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but that's just how good this game feels. Forget the dragons, forget being the chosen one, forget breezing through history like a tourist in something like Assassin's Creed. Imagine a game world that is so dedicated to realism and historical authenticity that it actually makes you struggle. Like really struggle. Fighting against more than one opponent should mean you will lose. Excessive drinking should mean you will become an alcoholic. And crime should mean you might get branded for life like a cow. So in this video, I'm not trying to convince you that Kingdom Come 2 is the best RPG game, but I do want to show you why this game proves that immersion doesn't come from freedom, it comes from living under the world's rules.
To the task!
Matilda!
Fucking hell! My leg, damn it! You idiot!
I love RPGs. It's a genre that I always keep coming back to, even more than survival horror or roguelikes. But they have a problem, you see. More often than not, I boot up an open world RPG, wander through its massive, beautifully rendered world, and feel nothing. You know what I mean? You've got like 400 quest markers, journal filled with side missions, a map the size of a small country, and somehow, despite all of that, it feels empty. You go through the motions, you fast travel, you clean up icons, you optimize builds, but you're not immersed. You're not living in that world. You're min-maxing your way through it. If you're like me, you've started to feel it too. That fatigue, that weird emptiness that creeps in when the game is technically doing everything right. And no, the problem is not you, or that maybe you have grown out of games. It's because a lot of modern RPGs have grown shallow. They've traded their soul for scope, they've sacrificed immersion for yellow accessibility paint, and they have forgotten that struggle and limitation are not bugs. They are tools that can make a world feel real. And that's exactly what Kingdom Come 2 did right. While most AAA open worlds are doing everything they can to make your life easier, more streamlined, more convenient, Kingdom Come 2 throws that entire philosophy in the trash. This game doesn't want you to feel powerful, it wants you to feel present. Because here, immersion doesn't come from freedom, it comes from friction.
You know the trouble with an adventurous life, son? It can end before it gets started. I might teach you how to handle a sword, and then someone will shoot you with a crossbow as soon as you set foot outside the house. If you want to convince someone that they're wrong, try using your mouth and not your fists.
I have a weak spot for stories that don't allow me to be me, if that makes sense. And instead they let me see the world through someone else's eyes. The way they see the world. Is the same reason why I like GTA 4 way more than GTA 5 or San Andreas. Kingdom Come 2 doesn't let you choose your destiny. You're not a blank slate, you're not a prodigy. You're Henry, a blacksmith's son. That's it. And that fact doesn't just flavor the story, it defines the entire game experience. From the opening hours to the final act, you exist within the strict social hierarchy of medieval Bohemia. The game doesn't give you a fantasy of freedom, it gives you a simulation of historical constraint. In most role-playing games, character creation means choosing your class, shaping your personality, and then stepping into a world that revolves around you as a play. But here character creation is character discovery. You learn who Henry is, not just through cutscenes but through what you can and can't do. Regardless of how skilled you become, you will never outgrow who you are by blood. That's the realism that Warhorse Studios is after, not just in graphics but in social systems, in opportunity, and in identity. And this design decision goes beyond just Henry. It shapes how the entire world interacts with you. Nobles don't treat you as an equal. Guards will harass you if you look out of place. A well-crafted sword in your hands doesn't make you a knight. It just makes you a blacksmith's son with a nice sword. And yet this limitation is exactly where the game shines. Because the game world is so deeply reactive to your station, even small victories feel monumental. You don't rise to power because you were the chosen one. You rise from being mediocre to capable by proving yourself over and over in a world that doesn't care about you. It's a slow burn, but it's earned. And this also sets the stage for the dynamic between Henry and Hans Capon. Hans is a young noble who, in any other game, might have been your rival or your enemy. But here he's both your mirror and your contrast. Hans is arrogant, impulsive, privileged. Everything Henry isn't. Or more accurately, Hans is everything Henry can't afford to be as a commoner. But their evolving friendship cuts through the class divide without erasing it. The game never lets you forget that Hans is a noble and you are not. But it also shows you how respect, loyalty, and shared experience can transcend those roles without breaking the realism the game is built on.
I don't believe it! You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
And that same grounding applies to the main story itself. The plot isn't about changing the world, it's about surviving in it. You're close enough to see the political chaos, but never in control of it. You're an errand boy for people far more important than you. Whether that means escorting a noble, hauling sacks, or delivering a message. In another RPG, these would feel like busy work. But here they're the natural outcome of your station in life. And the story isn't purely linear either. Kingdom Come 2 threads in player agency not through branching storylines, but how well you understand the world around you. For example, there's a wedding early on in the game. If you spend time exploring and meeting people, the wedding feels like a reunion and catching up with people you already know. But if you rush the main quest, it becomes a generic NPC crowd scene. Your place in the world and how connected you are to it changes how these moments land.
Henry! Finally! You have no idea how happy I am to see you again.
Likewise. How are you?
How can I put this? I'm in a fix.
Oh? What happened this time?
Look around you. This much booze. This won't end well. You have to help me.
Like how?
How? You have to make sure I don't get drunk. If you see me with booze in my hands, don't let me drink it, or it'll end badly for me.
So I'm supposed to follow you around and mind you like a child?
Well, I'd surely appreciate it.
That said, not everything is all roses and pink glasses, okay? Some character writing, voice acting, and cutscene work is just rough. And unfortunately, you will get a taste of it really fast at the start of the game.
Throwing groschen around like that? Fellas, if a rainy day comes, you'll be fucked.
Ha! I've got nothing to regret. The whole world turns around wenches. Ain't that right, Henry? You never gave us the good.
But there are also moments when the game challenges your moral compass, not with a good and evil meter, but with an actual uncertainty. For example, just going with the flow without thinking and trying to prove your worth can end with a local lord getting brutally slaughtered along with women and children. And this isn't a one-off. The game continuously reinforces the idea that you are just a tiny little piece in a larger machine, that your actions matter to an extent, but you don't rewrite history, and you will definitely not be mentioned in it. You just lived through it. If Warhorse Studios had let players create their own character from scratch, none of this would work. The tension between who Henry is and the world around him is central to what makes the experience compelling. Kingdom Come 2 doesn't simulate freedom, it simulates the social hierarchy of its time, where your status comes first.
Look, we're not in any position to pick and choose. So if you want to somehow scrape your way out of this mess, you better forget your airs and graces and make some effort. A bit of honest work won't kill you.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
Let me ask you something personal. Do you like taking a bath or a shower? Do you think about the fact that you probably do it every day? Probably not. It's just part of your routine. At least I hope so. Few games make you care about taking a bath. Even fewer make it feel like a normal part of your day. But in Kingdom Come 2, these kinds of tasks aren't filler. They're part of your life here. At first glance, the individual systems seem familiar. You can cook food, sharpen your blade, wash yourself, craft potions, read books, pray at shrines. There's nothing radically new about any of these mechanics on their own. But what's fascinating is how seamlessly they interlock, and how the game trains you to adopt them. Not through some tutorials or rewards, but through cause and effect. Don't bathe and people will comment on your stench. Don't eat or sleep properly and your stamina suffers. Let your clothes get torn and bloodied and you'll draw suspicion. This isn't an open world where you sprint from quest marker to quest marker. You have to live in it. You have to adapt to its rhythm. The game's major locations reflect the same commitment to authenticity. Warhorse didn't just invent medieval-looking places, they built Kuttenberg, Sassau, and other towns to match their historical counterparts, working with historians to ensure every road, castle, and church exists for a reason. The way a dirt path curves around a hill, villages clustering near rivers, peasants crossing themselves at a roadside shrine. It's not just beautiful, it's believable. It's a world that would keep turning even if Henry disappeared. And the same philosophy applies to the in-game systems. Brewing potions is a real process. You have to find ingredients, grind them, boil them, potentially distill them. There's so many different steps to do. Combat training, lockpicking, pickpocketing, they're all skills you'll fail at until you learn them. The game doesn't auto-level your competence. It lets you be bad until you earn familiarity. It's a bit like the IKEA effect. We place higher value on things we have built ourselves, even if they're flawed. A crooked chair you built means more than a perfect one you bought. Here you don't just have a sharp sword, you found a grindstone and invested time to make it sharp. You don't just own a healing potion, you brewed it, step by step, by hand. The fact that you struggled to get there is why it feels good. But the flip side is that this struggle has an expiry date. If you're like me and thoroughly explored the first region and took your time, by the time you move to the second region, you're already 40 hours deep. You have stacks of gold, your stealth is maxed out, and your gear is fully kitted out. Suddenly, the difficulty curve plateaus, and that careful, scrappy survival shifts into a comfortable routine. But overall, yes, Kingdom Come 2 makes daily life meaningful by making you responsible for it. These mundane details don't just flesh out the world, they anchor it, they give it gravity, they give you a reason to belong in it.
Good. This won't take long now.
Combat in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 isn't flashy. It's not designed to make you feel powerful, it's designed to make you feel vulnerable. And that's exactly why it works. Most RPGs, or games in general, treat combat like a power fantasy. You're often outnumbered, outgunned, and still expected to win. But here, walking into a fight against more than one trained opponent is a death sentence, unless you're exceptionally prepared or incredibly skilled. That's not just a design quirk, it's a reflection of historical combat realities. Violence is fast, messy, and brutal, where even the most skilled can be killed if they just make one mistake. The combat system is built around directional melee mechanic that demands timing, positioning, and stamina management. You can attack from multiple different angles, and so can your enemies. Blocking isn't automatic, you need to read the opponent's stance and react accordingly. Parries and master strikes can turn the tide of a fight, but only if you're dealing with just one opponent. Button mashing gets you killed, panic gets you killed faster, and arrogance will kill you the most. And winning doesn't even feel clean. Fights often end with someone bleeding on the ground begging for mercy, or you stumbling away with a broken nose and 3 cracked ribs. There's no slow motion kill cam to reward you, just silence. And maybe the sound of your heavy breathing as your magpie fingers are already trying to find the weapon the enemy dropped. But it's not the combat itself that caught my attention the most. It was the aspect of questioning whether I should fight at all. Stealth, intimidation, bribery, and deception, these are often safer and smarter options. Sometimes running away is the only logical choice, because the game doesn't treat combat as a centerpiece of its design, it treats it as one tool among many, and a risky one at that. That changes how you approach the world. You scout before you engage, you check yourself before you commit, and if you get ambushed on the road, your first thought isn't, what loot will I get? It's, can I survive? And that doesn't change even when you're more capable. You will pay heavily for our confidence.
Show your stuff.
Equipment also matters, but everything has a trade-off. A better sword won't substitute for a lack of skill. Armor can provide real protection, but it will cost you agility, noise, and sometimes your vision. Weapons aren't just their stats, they're contextual. A mace is more effective against armor. A polearm will give you better reach but leave you more exposed. And everything needs maintenance. Let your gear break down and you won't survive. Lastly, I want to touch on combos. Each weapon type has multiple combos that you can learn and utilize in combat. But there's a move called Master Strike, which you can learn early on in the game, and it essentially lets you parry and counter for guaranteed damage. Some players have said that it makes combat boring, but let's be real, that's not on the system. That's on you. If you're spamming the same parry move over and over and calling the game dull, you're basically microwaving every meal and blaming the food for being bland. There's an entire moveset here for every weapon type. I literally had sticky notes on my monitor for a while with different inputs, and once I started using them, that's when the combat felt more than just good. It was rewarding your personal effort for reading your opponent's stance and reacting based on the memory of the combos you memorized. And the best part is that even when you're good, you can still lose, because 3 or 4 enemies can easily ruin you. So no, combat isn't broken because you found one move that works. It's just exposing your TikTok monkey brain's attention span for what it is. You don't want deep combat, you want to win fast. And this game is not interested in making you feel powerful unless you earn it.
I'm all yours.
If Henry grounds Kingdom Come 2, then Hans Capon gives it charm. The relationship between a lowborn blacksmith and a pampered noble isn't just a great subplot, it's one of the examples of the game's commitment to realism, a friendship that grows without erasing the social boundaries that define it. Their early interactions are antagonistic by design. Hans is arrogant, spoiled, and sees Henry as beneath him. But he's not a cartoon villain. He's also insecure, frustrated by his limited political role, and reckless. Flaws that fit both his age and his privilege. Their friendship isn't built on shared ideology or common background. It's built on time, shared danger, stupid nights out, real conversations. You don't just watch it happen, you participate in it. You drink with Hans, you fight alongside him, you cover for him when he screws up. He's not a quest giver, he's a presence in your life. But your roles in society remain fixed. Hans can get away with things you never could. His status opens doors that stay shut for you forever. When he gets in trouble, others clean it up. When you get in trouble, you're lucky if you escape with your skin. But instead of turning this into resentment, the game lets you feel the tension and then complicates it with affection. He's not there to boost your stats, fill a party role, or react to your choices. He's not even always on your side, but he is real. And the evolution of his relationship with Henry gives the game its heart.
Oh, that really shrivels the old ballsack.
What's the matter?
Females! Let's go to them.
Sir Hans.
Oh, shut up and let's go. But quietly. We don't want them to spot us.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is not the best RPG because it's the biggest, the most polished, or the most explosive. It's not trying to compete with the power fantasies of Skyrim or the cinematic spectacle of Cyberpunk. It's not here to handhold you or make you feel like a god among mortals. What it is rare. It's a game that commits fully to a vision of grounded realism. A game that believes you don't have to be a chosen one to live an extraordinary story. That weight of history, the struggle of daily survival, the sting of class boundaries, and the slow formation of friendship can all be just as compelling as saving the world. You play as Henry, a nobody, and by the end, You're still a nobody in the grand scheme of things. But the life you live in between, full of bruises, laughs, mistakes, compromises, and tiny victories, feels more authentic than anything most AAA studios are able to deliver. Yes, the game is flawed. It's sometimes clunky, sometimes frustrating, sometimes just plain fucking broken. But those flaws are part of the deal. They're the byproduct of a game that reaches further than most dare. Not just in design, but in its intent. And maybe that's why it hit me the same way Fallout New Vegas or Red Dead Redemption 2 did when I first played them. Not because it's similar, but because it's singular, uncompromising, and honest about what kind of story it wants to tell. So no, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 probably isn't the best RPG ever made, but it might be the most human. Because from start to finish, it proves that immersion doesn't come from freedom, it comes from living under the world's rules.
What about me? I want to talk to the captain right now! You want to talk to God, fella. You're getting the gallows for poaching. What? You can't hang a nobleman! Jesus, wait! Hear that? That bell's tolling for you, mate. 12 more times, and the priest will come for you. Hans! But you can't!
Hans, don't worry, I'll fix it!
Move it! I'm a nobleman! Do you hear me? I'm a noble! I'm Sir Hans Capon of Bergstein.
If you enjoyed this video, check out this video where I talked about life lessons from Red Dead Redemption 2. And as always, thanks for watching.